Welcome back to Sioux Chief Pro. It's Lav Carrier installation training, part 3. What you've seen in part 1 is how to put the carrier together. We've got uprights, a truss rod, cast iron sleeves, feet anchored to the floor, sleeves and arms on the other side. We've already covered that, part 1. In part 2, we talked about how to install the fixture. We got the arm set right, we got the sleeve set right, and we got the China lavatory installed over the arms. Today, in part 3, we just want to take a look at the carrier behind the wall, because it's possible that another crew installed the carrier and you haven't seen it. You installed the sink, this is what it looks like behind the wall. So if someone peeled off this layer of drywall, because this is a 3.5-inch metal stud wall, which is pretty typical for a job site, I want to review the parts. Uprights, otherwise known as legs. Cast iron sleeves. The stub out sleeves are on the front and the truss rod. So all of this fits together to support the sink that's in the wall. The critical things are to get the legs plumb, square, and parallel to the wall and to the floor. To get the truss rod anchored down securely so that the legs are the proper spread at the top, the same as they are at the bottom. So everything is square and plumb. What makes it tough is when the wall gets built, you can't get in here and work on this because it's all drywalled up on both sides. And if you've got to get inside here and fix something, it ain't easy. You're cutting the drywall, you're busting out tile, and it's going to cost a lot of money. So watch part 1, watch part 2, and make sure that you get this right. Now we've got some anchor bolts at the bottom. We're going to take a look a little bit closer at those. So for the purpose of this close-up is we're going to talk about the anchors. The anchors is equally important as getting the carrier assembled and measured and plumb and square and all that. If the anchor's not right, the carrier's not going to be installed right. This is the anchor that we recommend to use. It's a wedge anchor. It's 3 3/4 long. It's 3/8 in diameter. When you install this, you want to run the nut all the way up to the top. You can see there's a little piece on the end of the stud that is not threaded. That's for your hammer. So the nut goes to the top. The washer goes to the here. You take your 3/8 drill bit and you drill holes where these legs are. The most important thing about drilling the holes is to drill the hole all the way through the concrete. So if you're slab on grade, you want to drill the anchor through the concrete until you feel the dirt and then pull it out. There's a specific reason for that. I'll get to in a minute. As you can see, this anchor here, it was drilled all the way through. It was set, tightened down. It's perfect. The anchor on this side, which you may not be able to see as well, it is also tightened down perfectly. This anchor here didn't get hammered in all the way. So when the guy tightened it down, it pulled the stud up too far. This anchor here, you can see it's all beat and bent and didn't get driven down either. So what went wrong with these two is the hole wasn't drilled deep enough. The hole has got to be drilled at minimum 1 inch deeper than this, at minimum. But when you drill it, it gets full of dust and the dust can collect in the hole. So drilling all the way through is the best way to go. This thing got set at a minimum drill depth. The guy hit it with a hammer, bent up the stud, bent up the nut, and that one got stuck. This one here, we were able to tighten down. The other two are great. So we've got 1 bad anchor, 1 good anchor, 2 really good anchors. And as you can see, it's not going anywhere. 2 anchors will hold this no problem. 4 anchors is perfect. The reason you drill the hole all the way through the concrete is for purposes like this. If something goes wrong with the anchor and you need to remove the anchor, you can't pull these out because they're wedge anchors. They're anchors. The harder you pull, the tighter it gets. It's not coming out. But if you need to remove the anchor through the hole, you unscrew the nut, unscrew the washer, hit the top and drive it down through the ground and it's going to disappear. And then you've got a clean hole to start over with again. So you can drop a new anchor in the same hole and fix your problem. Same situation on this side. We've got right and left 8 anchors. These are called wedge anchors, possibly called a sleeve anchor, depending on the manufacturer of it. We do not recommend using a drop-in anchor. We don't recommend using a lead anchor or a Tapcon or a plastic anchor or anything of that sort. It's got to be a piece of steel, at least 3 3/4 inches long, 3/8 in diameter. So once all of the anchors are in and tight and set, you can walk away from this knowing you've got a good installation. The legs are rock solid. Nobody's going to be able to move them. Well, thanks for watching our 3-part mini-series on carrier installation and assembly training. Just to recap, you need the right spec sheet, you need the right anchors, and you need the right tools. Most importantly, you need the right Sioux Chief products for the right application on your job. Check out SiouxChief.com for all your fixture carrier needs. Wild Bill Westrick, out.